Hi, and welcome to the Hi, and welcome to After School Club podcast. A podcast where 3 high school students talk about stuff. So, I'm Amelia.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Jessica.
And, so what have you all been up to? Anything interesting?
Yeah, we have a history test soon, me and Amelia.
Yeah, we do. Michelle, have you studied for the history test?
No.
Oh.
I just tend not to think of it on weekends. Yeah.
Well, then when do you study?
Like, when school starts, like Monday. Because I don't know. It's easier for me to get started to study when I'm immersed in history, I guess, because we have history class tomorrow.
Do you, either of you, ever feel like you procrastinate on stuff?
Definitely, yeah.
Of course, I think it's kind of inevitable. I don't know.
I feel like I procrastinate on stuff.
Like on what?
Mainly things that I find difficult. Like, or that I know will take a long time. Like writing essays, doing big projects, like big history or geography projects that are multiple parts, and I have like a month to do them. And I'm like, no, I'll just do it next week, and I'll finish quickly.
Yeah, you're right. Like for, like science maybe. Like, I think last year, like every day there's something to do. So like, I would probably turn it in time. But like, yeah, as Jessica said, for like big project things, it's just harder to like manage your time.
Yeah, like I remember in grade 8, we had a huge project in geography at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
It was like so many different parts. We had to like make the island, then we had to draw the island, then we had to write about the island. And the writing, there was different like sections. It was like a whole, I don't know what it's called.
I have no clue.
Like one of those university papers.
Like,
what are they called?
Thesis?
Yeah, it was like a whole thesis on like our island, but probably a lot shorter than a thesis. And then like we also had to like write or make an advertisement pamphlet for people who wanted to move to our island. And the teacher did give a long time. She gave like 2 months probably. But I still asked for an extension.
How long did you get for an extension?
Like 1 week.
I remember making a fake link and purposely not letting her access it. And did I not tell you? Oh, like because I remember you reminding me about it.
Who?
I wasn't done. You?
Me?
Yeah. Reminding me that I need to like replace the link.
Replace what link?
It's like a link to one of like the Geo project work, and like I didn't finish it, so I just made like a link that purposely doesn't work. It says like error 404 or something.
You, instead of asking for an extension, you just made it so that she thinks that you accidentally put the wrong. Oh, jeez. Well,
sometimes you have to be creative.
I guess you could have just asked for an extension.
I don't know why I didn't. I think asking for extensions just, I don't know, it might lower my mark.
Oh.
I feel like, I don't know, I felt fine asking for an extension. I usually aim to get my work done in advance and be like a responsible student. But if there's just that like one project that I need an extension on, the teacher usually says yes if it's just like one project instead of like all of them I need an extension on.
I remember one kid in our class got it done like a month before it was due.
What?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, in the Google Meet, the teacher was like, yeah, one of the students got it done just recently.
Oh.
I do remember that. Like, I was feeling pressured because that one person finished.
Yeah, I remember people saying, like, how long they wrote. They're like, I wrote it so long. But I did end up writing it really long, too. It was long, though. I feel like the teacher wanted, like, 20 pages.
20?
I don't think I did 20.
I think it
I
was
feel like someone wrote 20 pages, or like that's the example she gave, because I remember 20 pages, like maybe, but she gave the example of like how someone wrote 20 pages, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to write 20 pages?
Okay, anyways. Well, so do you think you struggle with procrastination?
Definitely, yeah.
Is there anything you do to try and stop yourself from struggling with it or to fix it? I don't know.
Yeah, usually for big projects, I will divide like the work into sections of different things we need to do, and then I'll write out like a calendar of the time we have to do it, and I'll divide the sections for different things. Like if for an essay, I'll be like, write the first paragraph here, second one here, the third one here, the fourth one here, and then leave the last week to revise and edit or something like that. And then for small projects, I don't have a solution for that. For small projects, you kind of just have to find time in your day, like 3 hours, and just work on it and just finish it.
Michelle, do you have any tips on how to avoid procrastination?
Not really. I guess I just do the same thing as Jessica. Sometimes for the long projects, I don't have a plan either. But yeah, if it's an essay, I plan out my time. Yeah, for shorter things, I just think like, oh, if I do it later, then I'll still have the work for later. So might as well just do it now.
I like when I was younger, I would get really mad that I would procrastinate, but I would still do it a lot. I don't really have many tips for procrastination, but I do have a lot of tips for screen time, which is the next thing we'll talk about. Because the reason I would procrastinate normally was because of my screen time, like because I would be spending all that time being able to find something else to do online, like normally playing Animal Jam. And yeah, then I figured out ways to like block those sites and stuff. I also during summer, my motto became, you get motivation by doing. So if I didn't want to do something, I would do it anyways, so I could get motivation to do it. Okay, anyways, talk about screen time now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Screen time on phone?
Well, screen time on like any devices.
In general.
Well, how much is your screen time? Do both of you know?
On my phone?
I don't know.
Yeah, I track it on my phone. Usually, my average is like 6 hours a day, which is a lot, and I probably should look at my phone less. But I feel like a lot of it also comes from
it's
school.
at school, yeah.
But it'll list like which apps you use, and usually, like on Sundays, I go on a Google Meet for 2 hours on my phone, so that's probably where 2 hours is from.
I think mine is around 6 hours too. I have like notifications telling my screen time for every week.
Wait, so it's 6 hours on what apps? Can you check?
No, I never check my screen.
Here, okay, I'll look for you.
Oh my gosh.
Today's daily average is 3 hours.
Spend too much time, I think. I don't control my time well.
Same. I feel like whenever I'm bored, I just pick up my phone, which is not a good thing.
And like you talk about screen time, and I don't even check it.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, your daily average is 3 hours, which really isn't that bad.
No, it's not. I think this is only for today.
Oh, on, yesterday you had 9 hours.
What? Oh, I spent a lot of it on Duolingo.
But you spend a lot of it on Duolingo, but you spent 3 times that on Instagram and 2 times that on Safari.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm just shaming you. Sorry. Okay, well, Jessica, if you don't mind sharing, what was your screen time?
Okay. Mine for today is 3 hours as well, I think.
Well, I think we're like halfway through the day though, so.
Yeah, that's...
How much time do you have on Instagram or social media
I
apps?
didn't see yesterday.
Today is 16 minutes.
That's not bad. Yeah,
I
it's
think.
not bad.
Yeah.
For me, I can't really track it on my phone or iPad because I don't use either of those that much. I can look though. I normally use a lot of screen time on the computer, especially Discord, or I use like Instagram on the computer, but not that much.
I think something that also helps with like removing screen time, especially if it's on like social media apps, is just disabling your notifications. Because that's what I do to Discord, and I rarely check Discord. I check it like maybe once a day just to see if I have any messages, but other than that, like, I do nothing on Discord. That's why when people talk on Discord, I don't reply. But on Instagram or, like, iMessages, I get messages instantly, and I'm like, oh, I should go reply. And that's why I usually reply, like, within the minute for messages on Instagram.
But do you feel like you're missing out on conversations or missing out on making friends if you don't talk to people on Discord or any other app?
Yeah, like, I feel like if I were to disable my Instagram notifications, I would be missing out on a lot of things. Because I feel like we message about homework stuff a lot, or, like, just things I would like to know as quick as possible. And I feel like if I disabled them, I'd be missing out on things. Or I would just, like, be constantly checking Instagram to make sure I didn't get any messages. Instead of just, like, notifications popping in. I'm like, oh, I got a message. Oh, I did get a message.
Well, I think most people I know, like, their average is, like, 6 or 8 hours or 10 hours on like social media apps and stuff. Are you trying not to laugh? What's so funny?
Hearing my brother struggle with this note.
His piece sounds like really professional that he's playing. Is this your younger brother?
No, my older.
Oh, I thought it was your younger brother. And I was like, oh my god.
My younger brother's like 6.
No, okay, yeah. Well,
I'm still 6.
haven't you seen like those prodigy kids on YouTube?
Yeah.
Who are like tiny, but they're playing all these sonatas.
They're so much better.
Oh my gosh. And then my mom's like, you should be like them.
Not everyone can be like them. Like, you actually have to like piano a lot. And practice like 17 hours a day. Well, maybe not 17, but minimum like 3 probably.
Maybe it's not like you like it that much sometimes. Maybe it's just discipline and like parents wanting their children to do good.
Motivation.
Yeah, if you don't have an iPad, the only other thing you can play with is a piano.
Yeah. I feel like that sometimes. Like, when I do my work, I'm like, oh, I should play piano now. Because I would rather do piano than do my work. You know?
Me too.
I feel like it's easier and more enjoyable than doing my work.
Okay, do you feel like your screen time is too high? Like, would either of you want it to be lower?
Yeah, I would want it to be lower. I feel like a lot of the root causes of when I complain that I don't have enough time or whatever, I always think about like, oh, that's probably just because I'm on my phone a lot. Or like, yeah, there's definitely lots of time that I could be using to do more productive things rather than like being on the internet and stuff.
What about you, Michelle?
I would like to lower it, I guess. Right now, I think my last week's one was average was 6 hours. I think 6 hours is a lot. That's like maybe a third of the time I'm awake.
Oh, when you put it that way, geez.
I'm not a third, yeah. But I would like to track it a bit more, because I don't know how much of that is like when and how much of it is like productive, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into it.
Okay, I would probably want my screen time to be lower also. I can't track it on the computer. Maybe I should look a little bit more into it, but I haven't really cared to look too much into how to track it on the computer. But I think it would be good if I was able to be less distracted on like Discord and Instagram, but
I don't think I need to track it on the computer because if I do something on the computer, it's probably productive.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of unproductive things on the computer. If I'm on the computer, it's usually like work. I think most of the separation is like the computer stuff. I'm usually doing like Google Docs, Google Classroom, like the Google Suite. Is that what you call it? SUITE.
what's Google Suite?
Google Suite just includes like all the Google apps.
Wow, I've never even looked at that. I think I've seen it before.
Yeah, and on my phone, it's usually unproductive stuff.
Well, okay, first I'll tell you my tips on, or what I did to lower my screen time, okay? Because if I looked at my phone, okay, my average is pretty low, but just be mindful that I use like 2-3 devices. So, like my average for last week was 1 hour per day, and it was mostly on Spotify and Messages and Google Classroom.
That's low.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good though.
Sometimes I would only use 28 minutes per day. Wow. Great.
That's what like those limits I see on your phone do to you. Like it like reminds you.
You know, and I think it's also good to be occupied. Like, when you have lots of things to do, then, like, you'll have less time on your phone, you know? Like, when I was, like, younger, and I used to have, like, class after class, I'd have, like, ballet, then I'd have, like, swimming right after, then I'd go eat, and then I'd, like, do my work. I'd spend a lot less time on my phone.
Yeah, if you want to lower your screen time, you need something to replace it.
Yeah.
That you're not doing with screens.
Uh-huh.
That can be difficult to find. Like, you need to find a hobby that doesn't use screens. That's difficult. Okay, I will say, so I remember when I was 10, I would, like, use devices for a long time. I would watch a lot of YouTube. Like, a lot. And then I also remember getting really mad. So anyways, as I got older, I think like 2 years ago or something, so I guess I was 13, I told my mom to set screen time passwords on devices. So for my iPhone, it goes off after 15 minutes, and on my iPad it goes off after 7 minutes, which is really low, and it just basically makes it so I can check Instagram for like 7 minutes and check my phone on whatever website for 15 minutes. Normally I go onto Twitter for 15 minutes.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Have you used it before? What do you do on there? I've seen it before, but it's just like not that fun. Maybe I've not been on it enough.
It just depends what you're following, I guess. I don't know that much about Twitter, but I used to like look at content for shows I'm watching, like Amphibia, and then I was looking at, I normally like, okay, it's a little bit strange because I don't think many people do this, but I use the browser version of Twitter, so I literally search up twitter.com so I can search up one of the podcasts I listen to that's about an anime called Hunter x Hunter, and then I go through what they've retweeted because I just want to see it. So yeah, I don't think many people are searching up accounts to check over and over every single day, but that's what I do because I have to like work around these restrictions, and also I don't want to download any of these apps. I have really high restrictions on my devices so that I can only spend like 10 minutes per day looking at social media. And for my computer, I got a website blocker, which is like I blocked Twitter, I blocked Instagram Explore page, I blocked like a ton of other social media apps, so that I can't really go on to many stuff. But there's still some social media that I left unblocked. Anyways, but I guess the issue with blocking yourself so tightly is sometimes you will be productive, but you're always going to find workarounds. So I was doing some pretty weird stuff to find workarounds to watch YouTube videos. Like there was a time I would go onto the Fitbit app, the Fitbit app, and then go into the community section and then find someone who had posted a YouTube video link. And if the YouTube video link opens up inside that app, you can still like go onto any website while bypassing the restriction. Or for the computer restrictions I had set on certain websites, I could just go to edit and unselect that website so it let me go on it whenever I wanted. But also recently, the website blocker that I use on the computer, they changed their format. So now I don't know how to unblock stuff anymore. And I don't really want to find out, so I can restrain myself. Yeah, so basically I have a lot of blockers, and it kind of causes me to not have any self-control, but it kind of works also.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. It's good to do that. But also, it comes back to what you said before of feeling like you won't know what's going on. Like if I restricted myself to only 15 minutes of social media a day, I feel like I won't be exposed to things other people are. So then when at school people reference a certain thing and you're like, what?
Oh no.
I didn't even see that. Or like people reference a lot of things from TikTok or shows they've watched. And if you don't do that thing, then you won't have things to talk about as well. And that's also a downside to that.
Michelle, do you feel like you miss out if you don't go on social media and know what people are talking about?
Kind of. Yeah, just usually the TikTok things. I guess I do feel like I'm missing out for watching the shows because I don't watch any, and yeah, there's not much to talk about.
Yeah, we already talked about that 2 episodes ago about how powerful, no, actually maybe it was 3 episodes ago, about how powerful it is to be watching the same shows as people, because then you actually have something in common to make more friends.
I might consider switching the social media to shows, because, I don't know, I think watching shows might be fun, and yeah, I liked watching Squid Game.
Yeah, Squid Game was good. You should finish watching it.
Yeah, I will. Well, yeah, I remember when I was younger, I would get super upset. I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's like an addiction, but everyone has it. If I don't keep up, then I won't know at all what people are talking about, and I'll have a hard time making friends because I won't be texting anyone, and blah, 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 you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a balance.
I feel like we've talked about this before, but I don't remember the time anymore where I used to not text anyone and used to not have social media. I don't remember it and how it feels.
You've forgotten how it feels to not...
Yeah, I have. I don't know,
Me too.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I started texting people when I was 8.
That's early.
I remember getting into iMessage fights with people because I insulted their Bitmoji. I would be added to these random group chats. We got into fights. It was bad.
I think the first time I started using social media was in grade 5. First app I got was Snapchat, and I used to use it a fair bit, but now not anymore.
Michelle, do you remember when you got social media?
I don't remember. I think only in grade 7.
Oh, yeah, because in grade 7, everyone was getting, like, Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know. I'm still, like, text, like on Hangouts and Gmail.
No.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. I think this was before I got Instagram. But me and Michelle did like a project in grade 7, I think, about square cube law and math. And I remember we used to like email each other a bunch of things. I'd be like, hey Michelle, could you send me your drafts for the different slideshows? And then she'd send them. And like we'd talk in email. Like I still have them, I think.
Why? But you're in the same classroom.
Yeah, no, it was when we were at home because that thing took a long time. It was like really long. Do you remember the video we made? We made a Raw Shorts video.
I don't remember actually, I think I do. Michelle, do you remember when me and Michelle were in grade 5 and 6, we would have like super long email threads. Our class would use email as a chat room.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And we kept having to make more and more threads because we kept reaching the 100 email limit on threads. And I'm able to like search them up and go through them, and they're really weird, the stuff we would say. And also, we used, at one point in grade 5, we were using Google Classroom as a chat room. Do you remember?
Well, of course.
There was one Google Classroom post in grade 5 that, in our class, Jessica, that had 1,000 comments on it. Because people would go home and talk on it.
Yeah, I participated a lot on it. I was like the one that posted like the 1,000 comment which is the limit to how many comments you could post on Google Classroom. I remember getting in trouble by our teacher, and she emailed me to not post comments on Google Classroom.
I found our email thread for Square Cube Law. It's like super long. Like I'll read some of them because they're like.
I remember this.
I read one about how you quit art class and then you went to Coco or something. Okay, it says, oops, I accidentally said nothing for some reason. My parents were like, other people have been staying there for a long time, so why can't you? And stuff like that. They didn't really want me to leave.
Oh,
yeah, I still want to do drawing, just not at that place. Also, out of the 3 years, I've carpooled with 3 people. The first 2 people didn't like the place, so they left in 1 year. We just talked.
Wait.
It was talking about the art stuff, and we talked about.
I don't remember that.
And then I said, "That's sad."
Basically, you weren't there because it was in grade 5 and 6. We would use Google Classroom and Gmail as chat rooms, and sometimes some kids would say mean stuff, and because it was like our school email, the teachers could like see it and it could be forwarded to them. So people would start forwarding stuff to teachers. We got into big trouble multiple times. Okay. So we kind of went off on a really long tangent about looking through our email threads from a long time ago, and they're really weird. Yeah, maybe we can talk about it at a different time. There's a lot of stuff we wrote that's in our school emails that okay. So yeah, do either of you have any more recommendations to lower your screen time? Other than setting harsh limits?
I used to do this, but like I would put my phone somewhere else where I couldn't reach it. So then I'd have to do my work or something.
Oh yeah, I feel like I do that sometimes too. When I'm doing work, I'll just put my phone on the other side of the room and I'll just sit at my desk and I'll be too lazy to get my phone again. So I'll just sit there and do my work. And then once I'm done, I'll go get my phone. And I think it does help a bit. But I mean, you could always just walk there and get your phone. Yeah. But don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah, so good luck with managing your procrastination and managing your screen time. Honestly, I think it's a really difficult thing. Like, people will make jokes like, haha, procrastination, I procrastinate. But for me, I remember it was really frustrating. Like, I would get so mad about it. Okay. Any final thoughts?
Not really. Yeah, I feel like it's something a lot of people go through. It's something very relatable to other people at school. You're like, haha, I didn't do my project yet. Or haha, there's one day left and I'm going to just write it in one day and it's going to be great.
Oh,
But, like,
I distinctly remember coming back after a weekend and I was like, Jessica, Michelle, did you finish studying for your test? And then you guys would be like, both like, no, I was researching about how James Charles was being canceled on the weekend.
what?
You said that to me,
remember
Jessica.
that.
Because I remember we for some reason talked about that at school about, it was like the first time he was big canceled. I used to keep up with like the TikTok drama.
The Tati Westbrook
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I think it's in grade 7.
I feel like that thing is very small compared to what's being accused right now.
Yeah, and
Okay, what's being accused right now is actually a serious thing.
yeah, but then now he's still making YouTube videos. Actually, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
Last
we
time we-
were. Last time.
and
you
then
were
I-
telling me about how his views dropped.
Yeah, I was like, look, he used to get regularly 20 million views, but now it's 1 million.
We should keep this for our YouTube episode.
Yeah, okay, we can talk about that a different time. Anyways, so good luck with your procrastination.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Make sure to review us on Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars. If you don't like our podcast, still rate it 5 stars. And check us out on social media on Instagram at afterschoolclub.podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!